Yun, so magandang araw sa current cohort of the Berio Trades program. So in this video, we'll be discussing the third part of the technical analysis level 1 section of our technical mentorship program. So in this video, didiscuss natin mainly our technical patterns or classical technical patterns, yung mga essential technical patterns na ginagamit ko in my system and in my playbooks. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to, number one, identify and understand reversals, continuations, and neutral patterns on a deeper level. So, important na naintindihan natin lahat. Pangalawa, you will be able to apply patterns to real-life trading scenarios. How to determine appropriate stop loss and target areas. Isa din yan sa mga objectives natin. And main points natin in this video. And lastly, to learn the statistics on patterns. And ano ba yung mga patterns to prioritize given certain scenarios. So let's start, no? Let's get into it. So ano nga ba yung mga classical technical patterns? So these are price patterns used to make decisions about buying and selling stocks based on the expected future price movements suggested by the preceding patterns. So madaming types of patterns like continuation patterns, reversal patterns, may mga tinatawag na wedges, rectangles, boxes, pennants, double bottoms, inverse head and shoulder, falling wedges. Hindi mauubos ng mga pangalan. May mga rising crab pa, mga Batman pattern, bat pattern, mga harmonic patterns. Ang dami, ang dami. Pero in our program, ang pinaka-emphasize natin, 'di ba palagi, understanding versus memorizing. There is no point in memorizing dozens of technical patterns, pati na rin yung mga variations niya. What is essential is to appropriately interpret what's happening behind the chart pattern, yung storya behind buyers and sellers, yung price action kumbaga, no? So this helps us identify logical entry and exit points depending on our trade objective and depending on the given trade scenario. Hindi naman kasi laging one is to one yung nangyayari on patterns. May mga paminsan may mga tightness na na-experience, paminsan may mga certain structures na kakaiba, no, na kailangan mong gawan ng paraan para magkaroon ka ng much better reward risk and para hindi ka ma-stopped out ng madali. So yun yung goal natin, no. Intindihin versus remembering each pattern. So ano nga ba? Bakit nga ba nag-form and paano nga ba nag-form yung mga technical patterns? So number one, patterns form dahil sa human nature. So, ang nagpapagalaw lang naman sa presyo is buyers and sellers, 'di ba? Mga financial institutions, pati yung mga retailers. So, market participants, whether retailer, whether financial institution siya, na matalino, may deep pockets, whatever, market participants are usually ruled by emotions. Ruled by optimism, their pessimism, their greed, their fear, and indecision. May mga times na kahit yung mga deep pockets, yung mga financial institutions, hindi nila alam yung gagawin nila. Kaya nagpo-form yung mga pattern na yan. Pangalawa, markets moves in cycle. Markets move in cycles. So financial institutions and market operators at certain areas of an asset accumulate and distribute. May mga times na when they deem it as cheap, they buy it, they accumulate a stock, they accumulate an asset, and then once na kumita sila, most likely they will be distributing their holdings, their position. Mapapabenta din sila at some point in time kasi kumita na sila and na-meet na yung objective ng idea nila. Kaya nagke-create ng patterns yung market. Pangatlo, visual representation lang naman yan, yung mga technical patterns na yan. Visual representation of buyer and seller aggression, buyer and seller exhaustion, and hesitation. So, yung technical patterns nan are basically visual representation, reflective of what the buyers and sellers are telling you. So, ano nga ba yung mga advantages or yung pros of properly using technical patterns? So, big emphasis on properly using. Hindi yung makita mo lang yung technical pattern, you enter on it, and then, yun na yun. You expect it to move smoothly and automatic nakikita ka. So, may advantage, no, when you know how to properly use technical patterns. Number one, repeatability. Dahil pattern siya, madali siyang i-identify, madaling ulitin yung proseso, no? Kumbaga, repeatable siya by nature since you know the idea behind the technical pattern. Pangalawa, reliability. Having technical patterns, it gives you a concrete idea where to enter and when to exit at a loss or at a profit. So yan yung two main advantages no when using technical patterns. Repeatability and reliability. So we have this observed fact no. So in each market stage or in each market phase occurs certain chart patterns. So typically during accumulation phases, no? During accumulation phases, diyan nagfo-form yung mga reversal patterns like inverted, cup and handle, mga triangles, kung ano man yung pwede mag-form during accumulation phases. So during markup phases, diyan naman nagfo-form yung mga continuation patterns, mga base patterns like triangles, mga boxes, rectangles, wedges, channels, ang dami, no? But the the bottom line is in each market stage, in each market phase, may mga patterns na nag-occur. So, going back, no, in line with that, balikan lang natin, markets moves in cycles. So, discussing Wyckoff logic again, no. So, stage 1, yan yung accumulation phase. Diyan nagkakaroon ng interest yung mga financial institutions, yung mga market operators. Usually, mga smart money people or smart money institutions. So, nag-hover yung price at low levels, at cheap levels. And then at some point in time, once nakapag-accumulate yung mga market operators mo and na-accumulate na nila yung certain threshold in the public float, doon nangyayari yung shift in demand and supply. So less supply, since nakuha nila yung float ng market, mas madali nang paangatin yung presyo. So hindi na kailangan ng super daming demand to push prices higher. So once na umangat yung presyo, diyan nagkakaroon ng snowball effect in buying, in hoarding of shares or units, no? So it pushes prices higher. Then comes the distribution phase, which is stage 3 or phase 3. So during distribution phases, dyan nagkakaroon ng initial sell-off, dyan nagkakaroon ng initial profit taking, and dyan nagkakaroon ng distribution structures, no? Like head and shoulder pattern, mga inverse cup and handle, triangles, boxes, ang daming types of patterns na pwede materialize, mag-manifest in a distribution phase. So bottom line is, once tapos na mag-distribute yung mga market operators mo, dyan nagta-transition to markdown phase. Kung saan madami ka nang naipit na buyers and you are forcing them to sell at a loss. And yung mga dati mong accumulators are now pushing prices lower dahil they need to become more aggressive in selling their holdings. Syempre ayaw na nilang maging talo pa yung panalo nila. So that's the 4 phases in a market cycle, in an ideal market cycle. So in BTP, we have dedicated plays, we have dedicated setups dependent on which market phase a stock or an asset is undergoing. So we have select setups, we have select plays na cater to a certain stock on a certain market phase. So for example, a stock is under an accumulation phase and it's under an early stage accumulation. Doon tayo naghahanap ng mga double bottom, doon tayo naghahanap ng mga range trades or kung ano man. Basically, yun nga. The point is, we have dedicated setups, we have dedicated plays on each market cycle. And we segment it into early to late stage accumulation, early to late stage markup, early to late stage distribution, and then markdown. So may mga dedicated setups. So this is the schematic number 1 in which it is a classic Wyckoff cycle, no? It's a classic Wyckoff cycle in which you have this accumulation, transitioning to a markup, you have an uptrending 50-day MA, 100-day MA, and then comes to a point na it distributes and magta-turn yung dalawang mong key moving averages. Then comes the markdown. So, schematic number 2 is another schematic, no, for the Wyckoff cycle in which you have a stock transitioning to accumulation coming from markdown, transition to a markup, then comes the distribution turned reaccumulation. Yung kala nating distribution, nagiging reaccumulation pala. So, typically, during this phase, dyan nagpo-form yung mga cup and handle, dyan nagpo-form yung mga inverse head and shoulder, then transitioning to another markup phase. So, madami tayong schematics, no? Those are just examples. The point is, chart patterns, they form in each market phase, and usually chart patterns are subjective, no? So, it's subjective in nature, and it is not an exact science. So, for example, same chart, di ba? Same chart, pero meron kang nakikitang different patterns. So, iba't ibang tao, iba't ibang interpretation on a chart. Yung iba nakikita bearish head and shoulder, yung iba nakikita bearish wedge. So, it actually depends, no? What matters is the context behind the price structure. So if you're gonna look at it through the lens of price action alone, you have this ground formation in which you have higher highs, but at some point in time, it failed to create new highs and it creates a lower high. Diba? It creates a lower high. So, yun nga, context is key. No? Context is key. And kailangan mo i-consider yung price action, yung current cycle, para makapagdagdag ka ng layer of objectivity. Idea is always ask whether a chart pattern shows signs of accumulation, shows signs of reaccumulation, distribution, or redistribution. So, saan ba siya nanggaling? Coming from an uptrend ba siya? And if coming from an uptrend, is it showing some signs of reaccumulation or distribution? And usually, madedetermine mo yan by having a comprehensive review on your price action, on its characteristics, and then your moving averages. Doon mo masasagot if bullish ba siya or bearish. Okay, so before we dig deeper, no, or to dive deep on technical patterns, so let's understand the components muna. Yung mga critical components and yung pinaka-standard way natin to look at technical patterns. So let's start with the preceding trend. So on each technical pattern, so for example, ito meron tayong clear descending triangle, di ba? So, ano nga ba? Saan ba siya nanggaling? Yung preceding trend, nanggaling ba siya sa downtrend? Nanggaling ba siya sa uptrend? Is it showing bearishness? Is it showing bullish characteristics? Is it showing buyer dominance, seller dominance? Basically, yung preceding trend. Yun yung main point. Pangalawa, ano yung shape? Ano yung shape ng pattern? Pati yung price action character niya. So, yung price action character niya gives out the primary story and context on the buyer-seller interaction. So for example, in this case, you have lower highs, you have same levels of lows, or at in this case, meron kang onting higher low. So what does that tell you? Ano yung sinasabi nun? It's showing bear dominance or seller dominance. Hence, you have lower levels of areas of supply and same levels of area of demand. Diba? So it gives you that idea na sellers are stronger than buyers. Okay. So next component is duration. So duration is how long the chart pattern formed. So this gives you context on how long did the battle between buyers or sellers occurred. So ito yung tinatagal ng isang chart pattern, no. So main purpose kasi ng duration, no, in considering duration, this helps you to identify if you're looking at a neutral pattern or you're just looking at a continuation pattern. And it also helps you to declare some patterns, no, whenever nagta-transition siya to a reversal pattern or nagta-transition siya to another type of pattern. So as well as ayun nga, you can consider this duration, no, as your time stop point. So for example, dito we have a descending triangle, 'di ba? Or pwede natin sabihin na symmetrical triangle or whatever. Ang idea is on average yung mga gantong klaseng pattern, no, on the next leg down, kunyari nag-break below, ang tinatagal na isang rally is usually 1 to 2x ng pattern duration mo. So for example, we have in this case gawin na lang nating 20 bars, 'di ba? So let's say 20 trading bars yung tinagal ng pattern. So if mag-break below and then nag-create ng another rally, if tumatagal na siya ng around 40 bars, which is 2 times ng chart formation duration mo, dapat medyo nagde-decrease ka na ng position. Kasi typically, dapat hindi tumatagal yung rally ng ganun katagal. No? Or for example, nag-break below, nag-consolidate na naman, tumagal ng more than 40 bars or 20 bars, no? Let's say, 20 bars. So, at that point in time, it already tells you na hindi nagkikreate ng another leg down or ng continuation leg down yung pattern na nakikita natin. In this case, itong descending triangle, which is having a bearish bias, no? So it actually depends. Taking consider of duration really helps, no, to identify your time stops. Also helps you to identify what type of pattern you are looking at based on duration. So next is looking at the size and magnitude. Gaano ba kalaki yung isang chart pattern mo? So tawag dyan size and magnitude. So we measure it in such a manner or in such a way na we consider the major swing low and the major swing high. No? So this helps us to determine our price targets. So for example, in this chart pattern formation, we have a measure of negative 26.26% from the major swing high to the major swing low. So if you're gonna set your targets, usually dapat 1:1 lang eh. 1:1 ng chart pattern formation mo. So that's the conservative target. So an aggressive target, typically you're just gonna consider your rally-based measure or rally magnitude or decline magnitude in this case. So that's component number 4. And lastly, looking at the swing highs and then the swing lows to help you set your stops or to set your targets, no? Since nakita mo na yung major swing high mo and yung major swing low mo, in turn gives you the size and magnitude of the pattern target. So for example, ito, swing highs and swing low, we have this minor swing high and then major swing low. So for example, we want to enter at this level, we want to sell short. Ang next ideal stop loss price is the next minor swing high. So that's the tight stop loss, no? Tight stops area. Major swing high, dyan mo pwedeng i-set yung wide stop loss area mo. So that's the basic components of a technical pattern. Okay, so I hope you get the idea. So requirements in trading technical patterns, no? As always, kailangan meron tayong certain requirements before we take action. So syempre, kailangan nandyan yung entry point mo, logical entry point where there is a confirmed or anticipated commitment of buyers or sellers at that area. So at your entry point, at least yung main message na binibigay sa'yo ng price is you have a commitment from buyers or sellers. So if you're gonna go long, commitment from buyers. If you're gonna sell short, commitment from sellers. So next, stops. Another requirement in trading technical patterns. So obviously, you need to set your stops, diba? No stops, no trade. No stops, no position size. So the idea is your ideal stops area should be where your trade idea or your bias is invalidated by price or time, no? So optional yung time stop. Price stop is mandatory, non-negotiable. Next requirement is setting your measured targets. Yung take profit areas po. Kumbaga, hindi mo naman kailangan magbenta lahat dyan no? Kumbaga, kailangan mo lang magkaroon ng set target para at least expected mo yung certain reward risk, no? So these are anticipated areas where profit taking might occur based on the pattern size or the swing sizes. So that's how you get your take profit areas. And that's the main idea behind measure targets, no? Kumbaga, yan yung mga potential take profit areas based dun sa idea na may mga tao kang nag-accumulate or redistribute doon sa pattern area mo. Next is projected risk reward ratio. So if you have your entry, stops, measure targets, alam mo na kung ano yung projected risk reward mo. So importante yan. A risk reward below 2, below 1 is actually substandard. So ideally dapat more than 2 or at least more than 3. And lastly, position size. So if alam mo na yung entries mo, alam mo na yung stops mo, alam mo yung equity size mo, and your cash at risk, your value at risk, you can get your position size. So when trading technical patterns, yan yung mga non-negotiables. Entry, stops, technical targets, measure targets, projected RRR, and position size. So importante yan. So for example, SMCI, coming from an uptrend, it creates a box pattern or a saucer-based pattern, kung ano man gusto natin yung tawag dyan. But basically, we have this significant swing high, this major swing high, which is an area of supply, no? So this may serve as resistance. So what if price breaks above this resistance area? Ano yung potential signal na yun? So that tells us na meron kang surge in buying, di ba? You have more buyers than sellers if price breaks above this key level. So we have this recent swing low, or pwede natin i-set dyan. So in this case, ito yung recent swing low. If it rallies above 356 or 360. So right now, we have our set stops, we have our entry price, and we have our target price. So target price is based on the size from this major swing low to this major swing high. So basically, to get your target, you just get the difference from your swing high to swing low. So in this case, 356 minus 200, rin na lang natin 230. So giving you that difference. So if you have the difference, you just add it dito sa breakout area. Then, makukuha mo yung target price mo. So, in this case, 557. Gawin na natin 560. So, ngayon, we have the critical information to enter on a trade. No? We have the entry, stops, target, reward, risk. So, next is the duration. No? So, based on this chart, we have a duration of 108 bars. So you have the duration aspect, which is quite important as well, no? If you want to set your time stop. So once mag-breakout yan dyan, if ako yung magte-trade dyan, if tumagal ng more than 50 bars yung isang rally, tipong nag-hover siya at 450 and ang duration niya tumagal ng 50 bars, which is half of the total pattern size or pattern duration, medyo dapat mag-unload na ako dyan. 'Di ba? Since based on studies, no, yung mga statistics na yon, ibibigay ko na lang din at the end of this section or for each pattern section, no, para at least alam natin paano mag-set ng time stop. So the idea is pattern duration gives you a gauge, no, on your time stop. So that's how we plan our trade. No? That's how we plan our trade. Entry, stop loss, target price, the reward risk ratio, the position size. So let's dive deeper dito. Let's zoom in. No? So it's a long technical setup is a saucer base or box base. Entry is 356.13, stop loss 300 or slightly below 300, TP 550, reward risk is 3.72. With a $500 risk, we should only buy 9 shares in total. So that's the process behind behind trade planning. So what happened in this ideal sample trade? So entry was at 356.10 to 356.20. So if you're gonna put a market order, usually nangyayari dyan is na buy up niya yung ask side, giving you a skewed average price, no, based on your entry price. So kunwari target entry price mo, stop market order 356, usually range yan. So in this case, it bought 9 shares sa 350 area. Stops is at 300. Targets was hit at 560, no? With estimated 1.7k profit or a 3 plus risk multiple trade. So you get the idea, no? Trade planning up to this execution part. Now let's discuss reversal patterns, no? So ito na, nandito na tayo sa mga pag-classify, pag-discuss ng mga readable patterns. So starting with reversal patterns, no? Ano nga ba yung mga reversal patterns? Ano yung underlying logic and principles, no? Ano nga ba yung mga reversal patterns? So number 1, yung mga reversal patterns, tawag dyan, mga demand or supply exhaustion patterns. Kumbaga, pagod na yung buyers mo, pagod na yung sellers mo, kaya nagkaroon ng balance in price action. Makikita mo ng exhaustion from buyers or from sellers. So number 2, yung mga reversal patterns yan, basically mga accumulation or distribution structures yan. So in which nandyan na nag-accumulate yung mga market operators mo, dyan na nag-accumulate yung mga financial institutions mo. And vice versa, no? If distribution, dyan nagdi-distribute, nag-form yung mga reversal patterns na yan. If nagdi-distribute na yung mga market operators mo and mga financial institutions mo. We have bullish reversal patterns, no? Typically, double bottom, inverse head and shoulder, mga falling wedges, may mga cup and handle din, no? So, madaming tawag. But the main idea for bullish reversal patterns, no? Meron kang nakikitang signs of seller exhaustion and buyer presence. So, in a typical double bottom, ano nga ba yung pinaka-message niya? You have some selling, you have aggressive selling, you have aggressive buying coming in, another wave of aggressive selling, but you have defensive buyers coming in at 0.3, no? And then comes another wave of aggressive buyers. So, seller exhaustion and then buyer presence. So, kabaliktaran naman on bearish reversal patterns. So, typically, double tops, head and shoulder, rising wedges, cup and handle, inverse cup and handle. So, mga bearish reversal pattern, no? So, makikita natin na ang pinaka-message ng mga patterns na yan is buyer exhaustion and meron ng presence ng sellers. So, yun lang naman yung idea, di ba? Kailangan mo maintindihan yung price action behind the pattern. Okay, so starting with double bottom patterns muna tayo. Then, let's proceed with other essential reversal patterns to. So, starting with double bottom. Ito yung cheat sheet natin. So, as always, di ba, when looking at patterns, we start with the preceding pattern, yung size ng duration or pattern duration, saan yung swing lows, swing highs, saan yung potential entry points, stop loss areas, and take profit areas. So, in double bottom reversal patterns, We have three types of three variation types. So starting with type A. Type A have same levels of lows, same levels of lows, no? And by standard, we have a minimum of 20 bars, no? From swing low to another swing low. So minimum of 20 bars. So if you're gonna enter in this pattern, ideally, no, entry price is at the breakout, stops is slightly below the major swing low, or the 50% level of this swing low to swing high. So entry to stop loss, tight stops 50%, wide stops, you can set it at the swing low. Take profit is basically the one-to-one pattern target from the swing high to swing low, and then idadagdag mo lang siya to get your take profit area. So type B of double bottom patterns or W patterns. Pinagkaiba niya, we have a higher low in type B setups. So in type B double bottom setups or patterns, so pwede mong gawin dyan is enter on the breakout or enter on the retest. So since meron kang higher low component, pwede kang mag-set ng tighter stops. 'Di ba? So you can set a tighter stop at the higher or the most recent swing low, no? Or the next higher low. So wide stops is at the major swing low, no? At this level. So by standard minimum from swing low to swing low is 20 bars, no? Or 20 days, no? If you're looking at the daily time frame chart. So type C, difference between type B and type A and type C is in type C meron tayong lower low, 'di ba? So we have this bear trap component. So you have your aggressive sellers coming in and then aggressive buyers coming in again, no? So a lower low component for type C. So if you're gonna enter on this stock, pwede mong gawin is enter on the retest or enter on the breakout. Then your stops is slightly below the 50% level from the swing high to this swing low, no? So 50% tight stop, wide stop considerably etong minor swing low na to. Tong minor swing low level na yan. So if we're gonna rank these variations, no? Pattern ranking natin dyan based on strength and success probability is type C is greater than type B, type B is greater than type A, no? So ito yung pinakamalakas, type C, next is type B, and then pinakahuli is type A. So bakit? Bakit? Type A, tignan natin yung type A. Wala kang higher low, same level of buyer and seller strength. So let's look at type B. We have a higher low, 'di ba? We have a higher low. Buyers are willing to pay at a higher area of value. Basically, no? Yun yung main interpretation on a higher low price action. So let's look at type C. Type C, meron tayong undercut, meron tayong bear trap component, 'di ba? So ano nga ba, kung babalikan natin yung price action events natin, no? From module number 2. Basically, this tells us na yung mga buyers mo obtained a lower average price due to the whipsaw event, no? So if you have a price advantage from accumulators, it gives them this gives them a price advantage, no? If they decide to push prices higher. So type C greater than type B and then type A. So if we have a bear trap event, doon nagkakaroon ng higher probability of success and strength. So one example is Exas, no? So this is the weekly chart of Exas, a weekly double bottom pattern at early stage accumulation. So coming from this distribution pattern, no? So we have this bull trap event, so a bull trap event and then a break below this support line, 'di ba? So this significant support line was the confirmation to a markdown phase. So right now, ang ginawa niya is a double bottom on the weekly, no? A weekly double bottom type C, 'di ba? In which meron tayong lower low and nag-occur yung double bottom na yan at the major swing low structure. Major swing low support structure dito sa $40 area, no? So, double bottom, lower low, no? Weekly double bottom. So, ngayon, no? If you're gonna trade this, what happened afterward, no? If you're gonna set your trade plan, so it's a weekly double bottom type C. Entry is at 47.2. So you can put up a limit order at 47.2. Stop loss is at $40. So slightly below $40, which is a psychological round number area. 'Di ba? So decade round number 'yun. $40, $30, $20, etc., etc. So it's a critical area of support, which is a psychological area. Next, setting your targets. TP is at 69 to 70. If you're gonna measure from the swing high to the swing low, so this gives you a price differential or price difference of 50 to $30 na lang, gawin natin ganun. So you have a $20 difference, 'di ba? So for example, you bought at 47, gawin mo ng 50. Next target, i-plus 20 mo lang. So giving you that price target of $70. So giving us a reward risk of 2.5, possession size of 59 shares if you have a $500 risk. So clear naman, no, yung main process behind this double setup pattern. Double bottom setup pattern. Okay, so another example is DraftKings. So coming from this distribution pattern as well. So mukha siyang inverse head and shoulder or wedge, kung ano man gusto natin itawag dyan. So pinaka-punto dyan, meron kang neckline, a support trend line, a break below support trend line, mark this, move lower, and transition to a markdown phase. Afterward, nahanap niya yung support niya at $10 area, which is also a technical support level, no? A structural support level from the swing low and then yung IPO phase niya. So, nahanap niya yung support area niya. Double bottom, no? Pwede rin triple bottom eh. Kasi meron tayong marked swing low dito and then another marked swing low. So, pinakapunto lang, no? Pinakapunto lang, we have two wave down. We have a two wave down. First wave down, aggressive buying, another wave down, and then another wave of buying again. So if you're gonna trade this, you can buy the breakout at 20.80. Stops is slightly below this swing low level or minor swing low level. So giving us around 2.5 to 3 is to 1 reward risk ratio for this name. So another example is MWC. So coming from this distribution structure, nagkaroon ng catalyst on this down move. So nung nagkakapitulate yung stock na to on the daily time frame, so aggressive selling, no? And then it's approaching a major support level, which is the 5.756 pesos area. So ang ginawa ko dito with MWC, I drilled down to the lower time frame, no? I looked at the 30-minute, 15-minute charts, and then at the point of support at around 5 pesos, nakakita ako ng lower time frame double bottom. Although in this price scale, mukha lang siyang hindi kapansin-pansin. But if you widen this chart, mukha siyang double bottom, in which we have a lower low in price, and actually yung RSI produces a higher low. So another confluencing bullish signal siya for me, which is you have an RSI bullish divergence. So hindi ko muna yan di-discuss, no? So right now, we're focusing on double bottom and reversal patterns and technical patterns. So what happened afterward? So this is the swing high level. Nag-breakout yan dyan. Nag-create ng consolidation pattern. What happened afterward? It rallied toward 10 pesos. So that's the main idea, no, when using double bottom patterns. Kailangan nasa support level din siya. So another example, a classic example is AMD. AMD. So coming from this distribution pattern, so mukha siyang inverse head or kung ano man gusto nating itawag dyan. So basically, meron tayong neckline at this level, broke below the neckline, retested the neckline, moved lower with multiple waves, multiple swings, and at this point, at the $60 area, nahanap niya yung support niya. So it's a daily double bottom, no? A daily double bottom in which we can see a higher low. A higher low. So right now, Ang ginawa niya after the double bottom formation, nag-breakout sa 100-day moving average. So that's a strong signal, a bullish signal, no, na bulls are in control in the long term, no, or for the past 100 days. So breakout, and what happened afterward? Gapped up, moved higher after earnings. After earnings. So, tip lang din when trading these kinds of setups, kunwari before earnings, before a catalyst move or a catalyst driven move, my tip is don't buy the earnings release reaction. No? Hindi mo siya bibilin on the breakout. Ang pwede mong gawin is wait for a pullback, wait for a coil, or kung ano mang makita nating constructive pattern after the move higher. So, yun yung pro tip natin. So, in this case, we bought the channel breakout or the channel retest breakout with a stops at 75.12 with a target at around $100. So, tips in trading W or M patterns. So, yung W or M patterns, mga double top, double bottom yan. Pare-parehas lang yan. Binaliktad lang natin. So, same concepts. Same concepts. So, tips in trading W or M patterns. So first is locate them in major support or resistance areas. So locate W or M patterns whenever price is testing one or a confluence of these types of support areas. For example, it's testing a distribution or accumulation pattern target. So for example, ito, meron tayong distribution formation, di ba? So ang size niya, for example, 20 ticks. Kunyari, $20 na lang, $20. So, ideally, ang next support level niya is $20 after this neckline breakdown. Diba? So, let's say $20. Next price area is the next support is the distribution target. Diba? So, ideally, ang logic nun is meron kang short covering na may experience. Short covering na will produce buying pressure. Diba? Buying pressure. So, next is looking at psychological levels. So, for example, $10 area, $20, $30, $100, $200. Tawag doon mga psychological levels. Mga round number levels. So, if price is approaching a key level, a key psychological level, dapat doon ka na naghahanap ng mga double bottom, double tops, or kung ano man. Basically, mga distribution or early onset distribution or early onset accumulation. And lastly, looking for double bottom M patterns on horizontal or structure SNRs. So for example, we have this 52-week low or multi-year low. So that can serve as a structure support area. So if price is testing these key levels or one of these key levels, dapat doon ka naghahanap ng double bottom patterns. So next, W patterns are usually premature accumulation patterns. So usually, mga ganyan, yung mga premature accumulation patterns, nagpo-form yan in the daily time frame. So for example, you're looking at a double bottom pattern on the daily time frame. Typically, it's just gonna produce a short-term reversal which will last usually 1:1 ng tinatagal ng pattern duration mo or yung kung gaano katagal yung pattern duration mo. So, idea is do not overcommit, yung tipong sasakyan mo, yung buong uptrend. Pwede mong gawin is sell half, sell all at your pattern size target. So another thing, if you see this pattern forms in the weekly time frame, consider it as a strong signal of reversal. So nandun yung context din ng time frame, 'di ba? Consideration of time frame. So if you're looking at these types of patterns in the daily time frame, lower time frame, mas ano siya, mas weaker signal siya, mas weaker bullish signal siya. Yung typically mangyayari dyan is just a short-term reversal. Unlike when these patterns form on the weekly, no? So that's next, the tip number 2. Last tip, no? Last tip. When a breakout of a W or M pattern is catalyst driven, tipong based on news, based on analyst upgrade, based on earnings, if mag-gap up siya, or mag-create ng high high momentum candle, yung pinaka best na gawin mo dyan is don't chase the breakout. Di mo na bibilin yung breakout candle. Ang antay mo na lang, ang pwede mo gawin is wait for a retest of the neckline. No? Usually, gagawin yan is magkikreate ng channel papunta sa neckline. So, based on experience, yan yung madalas na nangyayari. Or pwede natin gawin is wait for a coil. Wait for a coil after the double bottom breakout. So, for example, ito, coming from a downtrend, nag-create ng double bottom, nag-breakout. So, pwede mo gawin is wait for a coil. So, not all the times nagpa-produce yan ng ganyan, no? Yung produce ng coil or ng retest. May mga times, no, 10 to 20% of the time, usually, ano na siya, nai-reach na yung target. So, nandun talaga yung buyers na committed to push prices higher. So, that's the tips. Those are tips in trading double bottom patterns and double top patterns. So, average stats of the pattern. So, itong statistics na to is based on a synthesis of US equities historical studies based on the two primary sources by Bukowski's Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns and Technical Analysis of Stock Trends by John McGee and Robert Edwards. So for double bottom reversals, typical win rate niyan is 55 to 65% of the time. So 5 to 6 out of 10 of the time gumagana yan. 20 to 30% yung average daily return, average return niya after it reaches the target. Pattern duration typically lasts for 1 to 3 months. So, kunyari, you have a double bottom. So, usually, 1 to 3 months yung duration ng pattern na yan. Then, once mag-breakout, average duration of the rally after a neckline break is 1.5 to 2x ng pattern duration. Pattern duration. So, kunyari, 1 month, yung pattern duration mo, yung rally mo typically will last by around 1.5 months to 2 months. So, get the idea, no? Get the idea. So, same thing with double top M reversal patterns. So, can read the comprehensive consideration, but since we're looking at volume in this aspect, kahit hindi na muna, no? Kahit hindi naman natin discuss. So, tong dalawang resources na yan will be posted at the end of the video. So, next is looking at mature reversal and reaccumulation patterns. So, typically, mga head and shoulder patterns and mga cup and handle patterns. So, itong mga mature patterns na yan, yung mga mature base patterns na yan, treat it with utmost respect. So, usually, mga strong markups, strong markdowns nang mamaterialize yan after a breakout occurs in these patterns, no? So, it operates under the idea that the bigger the base, the higher in space, no? So, the bigger the accumulation base, the bigger the markup phase. Starting with the head and shoulder pattern, no? So, one of the main mature patterns na kinaklasify natin. So, head and shoulder pattern, no? Yung main context na, initially, para siyang W-type C pattern, which we have this lower low, diba? We have this bear trap event, and then another surge of buying, and then another test of the previous support level. So, ang main advantage nito is meron kang bear trap, meron kang bull trap advantage na accompanied with another swing to retest the established demand zone. So, in this case, a demand zone for an inverse head, a supply zone for a head and shoulder pattern. So, ayun, kumbaga, it's showing that context na meron kang another wave of accumulation, another wave of distribution for the institutions, no? So, if we're gonna trade an inverse head and shoulder reversal, so kunyari coming from a prior downtrend, so we can consider this as the left shoulder, the undercut or the Wyckoff spring or the bear trap is the head, and then the right shoulder is the retest of this demand area. So, if you're gonna trade this, ang pinaka logical entry mo dyan is a breakout of this resistance trend line or the neckline, diba? So, it's a buy on breakout or pwede rin buy on retest of this previous swing high area. So, pwedeng mag-rally yan, pwede rin mag-retest ng resistance trendline. It actually depends. Hindi naman siya set in stone. So, E1, you can enter at the breakout. You can enter again on the retest. So, stops, pwedeng iset mo yung stops mo at the 50% of this swing. Pwedeng slightly lower than the previous swing high or pwede rin at the swing low. So, whichever suits your reward risk requirements. So, ang importante lang dyan is kailangan mo ng logical stop loss area na tells you na invalidated na yung trade idea. So, dalawa lang yan. It's either a break below the neckline or a break below the recent swing low. So, minimum from left shoulder to right shoulder is 50 bars. So, on a daily time frame, 50 days yun. 50 trading days yun. If you're on a weekly time frame, 50 weeks yun. No? So, it actually depends on the time frame. But, kaya ako siya ginawang bars. No? It actually depends on the time frame you're looking at. So, yung mga inverse head and shoulder, mga head and shoulder, it happens in all time frames. On the 1 hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, daily time frame, weekly time frame. So, one great example of a head and shoulder pattern is the weekly chart of the Bitcoin, no? The 2021 to 2022 chart of Bitcoin. So, tignan natin to. This is the left shoulder, di ba? So, coming from a strong uptrend, no? Dumating yung unang surge of defensive sellers mo. Or nahirapan yung aggressive buyers mo to push prices higher. Yung defensive buyers mo yung mga defensive sellers mo turned into aggressive sellers, pushing prices lower. Then, establishes this support area, this swing low, rallies again, actually broke above this swing high area, but got faded again. So, nandyan yung aggressive sellers mo coming in, no? So, you have this bull trap event. To. So, right now, it moved lower, aggressive sellers coming in again. You have aggressive buyers, but got faded. So, lower high pattern siya, or lower high price action event siya. So right now we have this established neckline, 'di ba? So a break below the neckline clearly tells you that aggressive sellers are greater than aggressive buyers and defensive buyers. So break below, what happened afterwards? Moved lower, and then right now in this chart it retested the previous neckline support as resistance, no? What happened afterward? Moved lower. Actually, hindi naman nag-move lower but created and transitioned to this accumulation phase. So, this is the weekly chart of Bitcoin. Okay. So, another example is AMD. AMD coming from this double bottom pattern. Pwedeng double bottom, pwedeng triple bottom, kung ano man gusto natin itawag dyan. But, the idea is, ayun nga, no, coming from distribution, coming from this head and shoulder distribution, kung ano man gusto natin itawag dyan. We have this neckline. It transitioned to a markdown, multiple waves, multiple swings, and nahanap niya yung support niya at around $55 area. Or I mean, dito sa yun, $55 area. Right now, ang ginawa niya is it created a complex inverse head and shoulder pattern, multiple left shoulder, multiple right shoulder pattern. So, nangyayari talaga yan, no? Multiple right shoulder, multiple left shoulder, but the more complex an inverse head and shoulder, the more complex a head and shoulder pattern is, once mag-breakout yan, usually malakas yung nagiging markup phase na, or transition niya to a markup phase. So, in this case, ang ginawa niya, it broke above this neckline, created this pullback channel. Then, after it retested the neckline, moved higher, even broke all-time high. So, that's AMD. So, a classic example of inverse head and shoulder. So, ayun nga, how the pattern materialized, nag-retest, nag-create ng pullback channel, nag-breakout, nag-create ng another channel pullback. Hindi naman siya totally nag-transition to a markup phase na tipong parabolic type. Ang ginawa niya, nag-create muna siya ng another base. But, ang pinaka ginawa niyang pattern is a channel, no? So, ayun nga. how the pattern materialized, the market basically tells us na expected yung move na yan, pero unexpected yung magiging price action niya in totality, 'di ba? In totality. So na-reach na naman yung target niya, 'di ba? From this accumulation pattern, from this inverse head and shoulder, 1:1 target is at the $220 area. No, tama? So 1:1 is 220. Price differential of 120 papunta dito sa 55 gives us a target of 220. Na-reach yung initial target 1618 in confluence with this previous all-time high level. Ang dali niyang pina-breakout dyan. Although nag-create ng continuation pattern at this level, then it reached the target. What happened afterward? Nag-transition din siya to a strong decline. So let's look at AMD, current chart of AMD. Na-reach to, then it transitioned to a distribution structure. So that's how AMD materialize this inverse head and shoulder pattern. So another example is SMCI at the 4-hour time frame. So we can see this big up move from $400 nag-move toward 1K yan in just a few weeks, in just a few months, imagine that. So 100% gain in just a few weeks in just 1 month. So it created this 4-hour time frame left shoulder, created this 4-hour time frame head and shoulder pattern. So this is the left shoulder, this is the head, moved higher, failed to break new all-time highs, created this right shoulder, retested this previous resistance area, no? So another wave downward, no? So nag-resist siya at the $1,000 round number area. So psychological round number. So treat it with utmost respect, yung mga ganyang round number area. Piso, $10, yung mga round numbers, no? Yung mga may zero or nagta-transition to those psychological levels. So another example is ASEN. Although ang ginawa niya dito is not a reversal pattern but a bullish continuation, a bullish reaccumulation pattern. So initially naging siya, no? Initially mukha siyang distribution. Then came the bear trap. Ngayon, from this bear trap, it tells us na existent yung aggressive buyers mo. Yung mga aggressive buyers mo came in and then pushed prices higher and then reconsolidated, reaccumulated. So hindi lang siya strictly for reversal pattern. So it can be used as a bullish continuation or bullish reaccumulation pattern. So coming from this uptrend, nag-transition siya to distribution, produced this neckline. After it broke above this neckline, what happened afterward is a multi-month rally. No? Even producing 186% gain from this accumulation base. So na-reach yung target, nag-consolidate ng onte, even pushed higher towards 8 pesos. So imagine that. So that's ASEN. Dating FINMA pa lang yan. PEN pa lang yan. PHEN. So nung tinatrade ko to, first bear trap trade ko on a bigger picture play. Kumbaga, nung nakita ko tong bear trap na to, I was decided to accumulate shares, no? Should it reaccumulate? Should it push higher, creates another wave downward or creates another consolidation pattern near highs? So ang ginawa ko primarily, I bought the bear trap, added at this level, even adding near the all-time high level. And nung nakapag-accumulate ako ng certain number of volume or certain volume na gusto ko, tinrend follow ko tong stock na to. So creating one of my biggest trades in my current trading career. So ASEN, an inverse head and shoulder pattern na considered as a continuation pattern or reaccumulation pattern rather. So average statistics of the pattern, no? So ayun, as I've discussed, primary source nitong statistics na yan came from Bukowski's Encyclopedia of Chart Patterns and by John McGee and Robert Edwards. So head and shoulder reversal, 55 to 65% win rate, giving us an average return of 15 to 25%. So pattern duration is typically 1 to 2 months, and yung average duration of the rally after a neckline break is 1 to 2 times of the pattern duration. So other statistics, you can review it, but ang pinaka-point ko dito is meron siyang specific criteria or specific statistic for each type of pattern. So reversal, redistribution, reaccumulation, and then a reversal of the inverse head and the head and shoulder pattern. So ayun, other comprehensive consideration, you can read it, but primarily yung mga diniscuss natin dyan on the comprehensive consideration are volume-based considerations. So wala pa naman tayo on the volume, no, on volume analysis. So ideally, ang pinakapunto ko dito why I'm showing up these statistics um, is for this to serve as a guide, no? For this to serve as a guide on your targets, since meron ka na average return data, yung pattern duration, ideally, dapat ganyan lang katagal. If mag-expand or tumagal further, natural lang yun since average lang naman yan. On the duration after the rally, if mag-overextend ng more than 1x, 2x ng duration ng pattern, yung rally, dapat nag-unload ka na. Or at least, dapat nata-time stop ka na. You're considering a time stop. So, yun yung purpose ng statistics natin. So, next is the cup and handle pattern. So, same thing. You can use it as a reversal pattern. If coming from a prior downtrend, you can use it as a reaccumulation pattern. If prior uptrend. Or if coming from a prior uptrend. So, same. No? Same characteristic. Mukhang may initial may initial exhaustion pattern ka. Nagkaroon ng initial surge of buying, aggressive buying. After this aggressive buying came another wave of aggressive selling. But you have defensive buyers coming in, 'di ba? You have defensive buyers coming in holding prices at the 50% level of this cup measure or yung measure ng cup na yan. So from the swing low to the swing high, 50% ng difference yan is dapat di na mag-go below yung handle size na yan. So in terms of duration, minimum of 30 bars yung cup. In trading days, 30 trading days. Yung handle, at least 10 to 50% lang siya dapat of the cup's duration. More than that, I'm not sure pero may mga signs of decay na yun. Ibig sabihin nagiging distribution type of siya. Distribution type of character na siya. But ayun, if you're looking at a handle, at least 10 to 50% ng duration ng cup yun. So if you're gonna enter, you can enter on the breakout of this wedge. Pwedeng, usually kasi wedge yung ginagawa ng mga cup and handle. It's either a wedge or a saucer base at this area. So it actually depends. You can buy on the breakout, can buy on the retest, but ideally yung stops mo is slightly below this recent swing low or yung 50% netong handle size na yan. So kunyari from 1 peso to 2 pesos, kunyari yun na lang, no? 1.5 yung yung stops mo. 50% ng handle size. Yun yung pwede mong i-establish na stops. So, it actually depends on you. Target price, 1:1 ng pattern size. So kunyari, 1 peso to 2 pesos. After this breakout, ideally, ang pinaka-target price mo is 3 pesos. So, 1 peso difference plus 1, at 2 pesos, 3 pesos yung targets mo. So, yun, no? So, same thing with an reaccumulation type of cup and handle pattern. So, you have this cup, minimum of 30 bars. Handle is at least 10 to 50% of your cup duration. Dapat hindi siya mag-go beyond 50% of this of this cup size. And then, take profit size is 1:1 itong pattern na yan. So, cup and handle is an accumulation pattern by principle. No? So, ideal, siya, no? Pattern for institutions, for market operators to accumulate. So, itong handle represents a final shakeout before prepping for the next leg up. So, ang ginagawa ng handle na yan, this gets rid of weak-handed market operators, weak-handed retail investors or retail traders. So, that's the Coppen handle. So, one example of this is Super Microcomputer, SMCI again, on the daily time frame nung bandang transition to 2023. So, I remember, this is one of my trades nung bandang first quarter of 2023 nung nagta-transition pa lang yung market to a bull market. So SMCI, so after the breakout of this cup and handle, so this is the handle aspect, 'di ba? So nag-create siya ng cup with a total of 55 bars from this swing high to this another swing high. It created the pullback. Hindi naman siya nag-go beyond the 50%. So, okay. Check mark siya. Yung handle from this swing high to this another swing high is only 6 bars. So, pasok dun sa criteria na 10 to 50%. So, after the breakout, it actually consolidated, even pierced below the previous resistance level, but did not go below this swing low level. So, afterward, medyo naging choppy lang yung journey ko dito. After a few weeks, after a few months, na-reach din niya yung target niya at 137. Yung 1:1 nito. Itong cup and handle. So another example is APG. No? APG. Although it's an imperfect cup and handle. It's considered as a complex cup and handle pattern, no. So ang nangyari dito is it created this cup, it created this big cup, no? Since 2022 up to July 2023. So almost a year, no? Almost a year. Roughly 12 months, roughly 12 to 15 months. So we can set a target of this example up to $45 area, $50 area. So, a 1:1 target is at $45 area, $50 area. So, ang ginawa nito, created this cup, created this handle. So, tawag dito cup and high handle. Cup and high handle. So, yung handle was created after the breakout from this critical swing high. So, moved higher, created a channel pullback. So, considering it as a handle. So, after the breakout, we have the stops at the major swing low at $25 area. So giving us around more than 3 to 1, 4 to 1 reward risk ratio for this trade. So it was a long duration swing trade. So this is APG, no, a cup and handle pattern. So another example is Apple. Mukha siyang triangle, no? Mukha siyang triangle, mukha siyang inverse head and shoulder. Kung pwede mong gawing ito yung left shoulder, pwedeng ito yung head, pwedeng ito yung right shoulder. But, ayun nga, there is some subjectivity in looking at chart patterns. The bottom line is, kailangan mo siyang i-take as something na dynamic, no? So, in the case of Apple, this is the cup. This is the handle in which it did not pierce below the 50% level. Although na-pierce siya na onte but recovered nicely. So this is the handle part. So if you're gonna trade this, you can buy the breakout of this handle or the breakout of this critical swing high. So afterward, what happened with Apple ng bandang 2019, nag-ano siya, nag-breakout and even tested the $80 area. So that's Apple ng 2019, no? So one of the big tech plays noong 2019. So average stats of the pattern. So same. Mas mataas yung ano niya, no? Mas mataas yung success rate niya versus inverted. So on average parang pumapatak na 60%, 70% of the time gumagana siya. Although medyo doubtful ako dito sa statistical analysis with Bukowski, no? Let's just assume na 50 to 60% na lang siya yung statistics of the win rate on this pattern. Tapos average return is around 30%, no? On reversals, on continuations, ganun din 30%. with a duration of 2 to 3 months on a reversal, continuation of 1 to 2 months with a multiplier of 1 to 2x on average rally duration. So tips when trading mature patterns, when trading head and shoulder and cup and handle patterns. Number one, head and shoulder and cup and handle patterns are mature reversal. Mature reversals or reaccumulation patterns or dating distribution turned reaccumulation. So it can give out strong moves if magmaterialize. So treat it with respect. So pwede mong gawin is to ride out the trend. It actually depends on you if your trading profile is a swing trader, trend follower. But the idea is pag nag-breakout yan, high probability malakas yung move niyan. Lalo na pag big base yan or big accumulation base. Pangalawa, when you see build-up prices, when you see build-up price structures such as consolidations, wedges, or channels before a neckline breakout, it can serve as an earlier entry point in the pattern. So for example, ito, usually based on experience, ang ginagawa ng inversed coming from prior downtrend, ang kadalasan ko na experience is nagke-create yan ng very comprehensive or constructive build-up pattern before a neckline breakout. So this is the neckline. So typically, ang ginagawa niyan, nagki-create ng left shoulder, nagki-create ng head, nagki-create ng right shoulder. Then once it tests the neckline, once tinetest na yung neckline, nagki-create yan ng build-up pattern dito sa resistance area. Ngayon, pag nakakita ka ng build-up pattern, you can enter on the breakout. Pero may mga times din na ganito, guys. Tipong nag-create ng left shoulder, nag-create ng head, nag-create ng right shoulder, tapos nag-create ng wedge. Nag-create ng wedge before the neckline. Once it tests the neckline, kikreate siya ng wedge, ng channel pullback. It actually depends, no? Hindi naman yan set in stone, hindi naman siya palaging ganun. So, something na dapat lang prepared ka. Pag may nakita kang ganyan, most likely, it's an opportunity to enter earlier. Lalong-lalo na when you have a moving average, a key moving average, tipong 50-day, 100-day, supporting this channel or this wedge. No? So, yun. Tip number 3, use moving averages as your stop and go signal if you want to trade mature patterns. So, for example, you're trading a mature pattern, a cup and handle reaccumulation pattern, kunyari ganyan, kikreate na siya ng cup and handle, di ba? Ang nakikita mo is you have your 50-day flattening and prices below the 50-day moving average. So, ano yung pinaka signal mo dyan? It's still a stop signal. Still a red light signal. Kasi hindi pa naman siya nag-go above the 50-day moving average. So, once it breaks above the 50-day moving average, ang pinaka pwede mong gawin is wait for a retest of the dynamic support. So, ganun. So, you don't buy these patterns when it's below the 50-day moving average. Most important if it's below the 100-day moving average. So, that's the main tip actually. So, moving forward, continuation patterns. It's a type of another classical TA pattern, no? So, mostly used by momentum traders, mostly used by swing traders. So, continuation patterns are reaccumulation patterns after major breakouts. So, di ba, after every major breakout, you have a surge in buying, di ba? So, meron kang surge in buying. So, at some point in time, mapapagod din yung buyers na yan. Then, what happens afterward, nagkakaroon ka ng consolidation. So, yung consolidation na yan is a reaccumulation pattern. So, reaccumulation patterns that will continue its up or down move. So, kunyari coming from a major breakout, a bullish breakout, so you have this initial leg up, then ngayon, nandyan yung continuation pattern mo. The next leg up, yan yung continuation move. So, yun nga, main context is buyers are just taking a rest in aggressive buying, accompanied with light selling. So, nandyan yung aggressive sellers mo but not too aggressive. Nandyan din yung defensive sellers mo but not too, hindi naman siya yung primary composition of the 4 key market participant. Main point is nagbabalance out yung buyers mo and sellers. Kaya napaproduce yung mga price patterns na ganyan. So, itong mga continuation pattern formations na to are opportunities to enter, re-enter, or scale up after major breakout. So, for example, usually ginagamit to ng mga naiwan sa mga major breakouts. So, for example, we have an inverse head and shoulder reaccumulation pattern. So, kala mo distribution, naging reaccumulation pala. Ngayon, nag-neckline break. Di ka nakabili sa breakout, di ka din nakabili sa retest. Ngayon, after the initial leg up, nag-create ng continuation pattern. So, it's an opportunity to enter. Diba? Or it's an opportunity to re-enter. Kunyari, nag-buy on breakout ka, may tight stop ka, you have a pattern target at this level. Ngayon, nakabenta ka, majority at this level or sell all. So, pwede mong gawin, you can buy again on this continuation pattern. Kasi considerably, it's another setup. Tama? Diba? It's another setup. You can set your stops slightly below the swing low. You can set your targets at the next target price or the next measured target. Diba? So, it's an opportunity to re-enter. So, it's another opportunity to scale up. Diba? Kunyari, nakabili ka at the breakout, nagdag ka at the retest. For example, you're the type of trader na gusto mo, nabobombahan mo yung isang stock. Malaki yung volume mo on a stock. Tipong 40% allocation in your portfolio, 30% allocation in your portfolio. Let's say you bought 10% of your portfolio size on the breakout, you bought another 10% at the retest. On the breakout of the continuation pattern, that's another opportunity to add another 10% of your portfolio. So, yun. Bottom line, to mga patterns na to are really powerful patterns to enter, to re-enter, or scale up after major breakouts. Kumbaga, wala ka ng talo dito eh. Di ba? Meron ka ng confirmation ng buyers, meron ka ng confirmation of aggressive buyers. Papahinga lang sila. But, pag pumasok na sila ulit, at least yun, you have the idea na they will commit to another leg up. So, ayun, no? So, to get your targets, no? To get your targets, ito yung pinaka cheat sheet natin. So, we have two types of measured target. So, a conservative target is based on the pattern size. An aggressive measured target is based on the rally. So, for example, dito, no? Let's focus in this area. So, clear out lang natin to. So, for example, ito yung swing low natin. Ito yung swing high natin. So, meron kang rally size, tama? Meron kang rally size. Ngayon, nag-breakout. So, let's say gusto mo mag-set ng aggressive target. So, kung gaano kalaki tong rally na yan. So, let's say $5. $5 yung move na yan. Most likely, $5 move din yung igagalaw afterward. Or for example, if you're considering it in logarithmic terms, in terms of percentages. Kunyari, 20% yung move na yan. So, once it breaks out, most likely, 20% din yung move na yan. So, a conservative target, for example, price difference nito from the swing high to the swing low is 5%. 5 to, gawin na lang 10%, no? 10%. So, let's say, nag-breakout. A conservative target is another 10% up. 10% up move. So, clear naman, no? So, I hope clear paano mag-set ng targets. Clear din mag-set ng stops. So, there are different types of continuation patterns. So, wedges, andyan yung boxes, andyan yung pennants. So, commonly known as Darvas boxes, mga DB, Darvas boxes, mga ganun. Kung naman gusto mo itawag dyan, no? Pero bottom line, nagpapahinga yung buyers mo, andyan yung set of market participants mo producing this kind of price action. So, honestly, if we're gonna rank this continuation patterns, ang may pinaka mataas na upside talaga itong bullish pennant. So, it actually depends. Paminsan, mas malakas yung boxes, paminsan, mas malakas yung pennant. Kasi itong pennant is producing higher lows, and then paminsan, same levels of highs. So, that indicates stronger buying interest, di ba? So same levels of high, same levels of low, balance lang. A falling wedge indicates aggressive sellers coming in, weaker buyers at the lower areas. So ganun. Ganun natin siya nirarank, no? But meron tayong statistics na ipipresent later on. So, setting our pattern targets, na-discuss na rin natin dyan, no? Aggressive targets is based on the rally size. Conservative targets is based on the pattern size. Same with boxes, same with Darvas boxes, rectangles, kung ano man gusto natin itawag dyan. So, one example of this is PGT. So, after this big base breakout, nagkaroon ng breakout dito sa key resistance level at $23, moved higher, created this continuation pattern. Afterward, ang ginawa niya, breakout, then and then it reached the $30 area. So if you're gonna trade this, you can enter on the breakout, you can put up a buy stop order, then attach bracket orders with the stops at the swing low or the 50% level of this pattern. So it actually depends on you if you want to put up a tight stop or a wide stop. So now, another example is ADMA Biologics. So coming from this, ano ba pwede nating dito? So para siyang channel pullback, no? Or a channel base, kung ano man gusto natin tawag dyan. But the idea is, meron kang resistance trend line plotted, di ba? So that's a resistance level. After the breakout, after earnings, nag-gap up siya, create ng 2-day up move, but eventually created this continuation pattern. So what happened afterward? A breakout of this you can set your stops at this swing low level, so slightly below the swing low level. Targets is perceived at this level, no, at around $6 area, giving you a 5.87 reward risk ratio. So ganun. So that's ADMA Biologics. So statistics on these patterns is ito. 55 to 65% of the time, yung probability for this pattern to be right. Average return is 10 to 20% for each rally or the next leg up. Pattern duration is around 0.5 weeks to 1.5 months ideally. And then yung average duration ng rally is 1 to 2x of the pattern size or pattern duration. So that's our statistics on continuation patterns. Next is neutral patterns. So mukhang magkaparehas, no, yung continuation pattern pati yung neutral pattern. So in context, ano nga ba yung neutral pattern? So neutral patterns are triangles and rectangular bases, no? Na pwedeng maging distribution, pwede rin siya maging accumulation structure. Kasi prolonged indecision siya of buyers and sellers. So if we're gonna analyze this patterns, it's a minimum of 30 bars, no, from this major swing low to this current swing high. So it actually depends, no, itong mga ganitong neutral pattern. Usually, nanggagaling sa prior downtrend, paminsan nanggagaling sa prior uptrend. So if it's coming from a prior downtrend, ang bias mo is for it to continue to move downward. But ang pinaka mo pa rin dyan is price confirmation. So kala mong continuation pattern, continuation of this downtrend, paminsan nagbe-breakout yan on the upside and then nagre-reverse. Kaya siya neutral. Either or. Break above, break below. So if break above, then reversal. If break below, then continuation. Diba? So yung triangles, you analyze it in terms of the swing lows and then the swing high. So for example, an ascending triangle. Makikita natin na we have swing lows, ascending swing lows, indicating rising areas of demand. So in terms of the swing highs, you have a same level of swing highs, same level of area of supply. So kind of bullish, but yun nga, since prior downtrend, kind of bearish then. So neutralizing everything, neutralizing the price action, and then the suggestion of the prior trend. So it actually depends on the price confirmation. If move upward, move lower. So same with symmetrical triangles. For symmetrical triangles, you have lower highs in terms of swing highs, terms of price action, and then higher lows in terms of the swing lows. So symmetrical triangle, pwedeng coming from a prior downtrend, pwede rin coming from a pwedeng coming from a prior uptrend, pwede rin coming from a prior downtrend. It actually depends. No? So the idea is, yun nga, kung saan siya nagbe-breakout. No? If breakout above the RTL, then bullish. Break below the support trend line, STL, then bearish. To put up your stops, just look at the recent swing low area or the recent swing high area. So if you're gonna enter a long trade, entry mo on the breakout of RTL, stops mo on the recent swing low. If you're gonna short this, you can enter at the break below of the support trend line. Then your stops is at the recent swing high. So targets wise, 1:1 lang din siya of the pattern size. So kung gaano kalaki yan, kunyari 10 to 20%, most likely 10 to 20% down move din siya. If it moves lower, 10 to 20% up move din siya if it moves higher. So other neutral patterns, usually nagiging neutral pattern din yung mga bases, o minsan may mga imperfect channels pa. So itong mga patterns, yun nga, hindi mo nga din talaga maano, hindi mo siya maano as set in stone siya, no? So one neutral pattern example is ATN Holdings. So another real trade I experience. So ATN, etong neutral pattern na to was formed near all-time high level. So if we're gonna look at ATN, no? ATN Holdings. So looking at the weekly time frame, no? Etong pattern na yan, yung pinakita natin na to, is being formed near all-time high. So this is the power of build-ups near all-time high, build-ups near 52-week high levels or critical key levels. Pag nagbe-build up siya near a key level, that indicates that you have defensive buyers. You have price absorption, no, of buyers. Kumbaga sinasalo nila yung selling ng mga break-even sellers. So ito yan, dito yan, 2018. So I remember 2018 around August 2018. So nag-breakout siya dito. Initially, nagkaroon ng fake out eh. So on the bullish candle close was the clear signal for ATN Holdings to move higher. So bulk of my entry was at the retest, no? Was at the retest of this resistance breakout. So ngayon, afterwards, what happened? Created this strong up move, no? In just a few days, 15 days, 100% move in just 15 days. Imagine that. So that's the power of all-time high breakouts plus neutral patterns. So another example is Sky, no, an ETF or cloud computing ETF. So creating this box base, no, box base at highs. So ngayon nag-breakout, no, nag-breakout even reaching the pattern target. Pattern target was at 68. So what happened afterward? Nung na-reach yung target, creates this strong selling pressure. So, yan yung mga examples natin on neutral patterns. So, average statistics of the pattern, triangle bases on uptrends, 60 to 70% of the time, gumagana yan. Although I think this is an overestimated average, no, of the win rate. So, pwede mo na siyang i-declare as 50 to 60% of the time lang siyang tama. So, on box bases naman, on big box bases, you can set ang statistics natin dyan is 55 to 65% of the time siyang tama. Average return, no, on the breakout is 20 to 30% after a breakout. Average pattern duration is 1.5 months to 3 months. So average rally duration is 1.5 to 2x of the pattern duration. So frequently asked question, no, what's the difference between neutral patterns versus continuation patterns? Pinagkaiba nila, guys, is duration and swing magnitude. So on continuation patterns, it is tight range. Tight range typically lasts not more than a month. Small swings din siya. Tipong 5 to 10% swings lang siya. Not going beyond 10%. Yun nga, short duration din siya. It's a short duration pattern. So for neutral patterns, it's a long duration pattern, large multiple swings, tipong nag-span ng around 20%, 10 to 20% swings from swing high to swing low. So, medyo suggestive of a distribution type of character siya or price action character. So, ganun. Then, long duration siya. Typically, lasts more than 1 month. So, yun yung main difference. Actually, yung idea is, if it's a neutral pattern, ano siya no? May mga times na mas malakas yung move niya. May mga times din naman na na-fade din siya. So, mas higher probability of success when trading continuation pattern. Lalong-lalo na when trading it on an early stage markup. So, itong mga neutral pattern is usually seen during late stage or mid to late stage markup phases. So, pullback patterns naman. So, one of my favorites. So, pullback patterns are typically mga channels yan Channels, wedges. A channel is parang lower lows in price, lower lows in price as well. So, creating the channel. So, yung mga wedge, medyo nag-start siya as a big swing and then nagta-tighten up. So, yun yung pinagkaiba nila. So, parehas mo ang channel, pero ang idea behind the wedge is meron kang tightening event. So, like continuation patterns, itong mga pullback patterns, but with multiple swings of aggressive selling. So, itong mga pullback patterns, so coming from a prior uptrend, prior rally, so afterwards, creating this channel. So, if you're gonna trade this, entry point mo is a breakout of this RTL. Stops mo slightly below the recent swing low, or pwede rin slightly below the nearest moving average, key moving average. So, ideally, we want to trade pullback patterns with a rising moving average or key moving average. Pwedeng 20-day, pwedeng 50-day, pwedeng 100-day, kung ano man yan. So, paminsan, pero ideally, ang gusto natin are 20 to 50-day pullbacks. No? 20-day to 50-day moving average pullbacks. So, if it's testing a dynamic support, then it's a valid trade idea, di ba? Okay, so targets wise, 1:1 lang din ang channel size. So, kunyari, ito, 10% move siya from this peak to the trough, to the swing high, to the swing low. 10% siya. Most likely, 10% then yung igagalaw niya after it breaks above this swing high level. So, ganun. So, if you're gonna consider this entry to this target, most likely, mga 15 to 20% yan. If 10% move yan. Diba? So, isa yun sa mga advantages of trading pullback channels. In which you have a lower average price, you have a lower average price, you can put up a tighter stop, and then mas malaking upside potential niya. So one example is SMCI, a pullback towards the 100-day moving average. So this pattern was made nung around November to December 2022. So moved higher, creating this channel pullback siya sa 100-day, creating this RTL and then STL. After the breakout, what happened afterward, it reached the $131 target price. Although somewhat choppy, but point is, ayun nga, it's still reaching the target or it reached the target. So that's SMCI. Another example is Hood. No? So after earnings ko to tinrade, honestly. So ang ginawa ko dito is I waited for the earnings reaction. So initially it created this channel pullback toward the 100-day moving average, a flattening 100-day moving average. After earnings, it gapped higher, created this continuation pattern on the lower time frame. So doon ko siya tinrade. So that's Hood, so Robinhood. So next example is our house, a pullback towards the 20-day moving average. So recent trade lang din siya. Creates this pullback channel towards the 20-day moving average. Then broke above this RTL. So I've set my stops at the $10 area, 10.18 area. Targets is at $13 area. So 1:1 netong channel. 1:1 netong channel. So that's our house. As our pullback channel example. So average statistics of the pattern, no, of channel pullbacks, 50 to 60% of the time tumatama siya. Average pullback from peak to trough is 5 to 15%. So another key information, no. So on average, no, after each rally and after it's creating a pullback, typically ang size niyan is 5 to 15%. 5 to 15% from peak to trough. So just to give everyone an idea, no. So average return after channel breakout. So after the breakout of the channel, ang ginagalaw niya is usually 10 to 20% after the channel breakout. So pattern duration is 1 to 2 months. So typically on average 1 to 2 months yung isang pullback, no. Isang pullback kung tumagal. So one classic example of this is the S&P 500 pullback nung bandang kailan ba 'to? Eto, nung bandang March to May. So gaano ba katagal 'tong pullback na 'to? So from this peak to this trough, tingnan natin, 20 bars, 29 days, 1 month. So pumapasok dun sa averages natin. So average duration after the rally, after the channel breakout is 1 to 2 months. Okay, so let's analyze, no? So let's put it into practical analysis. So nag-breakout sa channel. Let's start with this candle. So let's start with this candle. So 1 month in. 1 month in dito. 2 months in dito. So what happened afterward? Pullback again. Pullback again. So from this peak to this trough, gaano ba tayo katagal? So let's look at it again. So 20 days. 20 days. So is this pullback done? Most likely not based on averages. So most likely may move lower pa tayo, no? Based on data. Based on data. So if this pullback is not yet done, then most likely another leg down might be experienced, no? So next support level is at 500. So worst case scenario, mangyari ulit yan. But sometimes, since ayun nga, averages lang naman yan, maybe, ito na yung swing low natin, no? Considerably, ano na siya, kumbaga, tawag dito, considerable na siya na pullback duration, which is 20 days, no? 20 calendar days. So, hindi na siya yung tipong super tight na pullback. So, that's our example on channel pullbacks. Another example on channel pullbacks. So, now let's do some on-session drills. Training the eye on TA patterns. So, let's put it into practice. So, starting with Sigma Lithium. So, question number 1. If I enter at the breakout of point A, where is my ideal cut loss point? So, this is a cup and handle, diba? Given na we have this cup with a duration of 113 bars. So, a handle of 25 bars. So, if I want to enter on the breakout, saan yung ideal cut loss point natin? So, kunyari buy on breakout at 42 or 41.50. Stops ko most likely is at this level. What is the minimum target price based on the pattern? So, for example, from $41 to $23, giving us a $24, tama ba? Tignan natin let's open our calculator. So, from 42 minus 24, giving us an $18 difference. So, if it breaks above 42 plus 42, giving us a target price of $60. So, that's our target. So, next, yun. So, papasok na $60. So, giving us a 3.9 for 4.0 reward risk ratio for this trade. So, next example is EXAS. So, exact science. So, task number 1, identify the reversal pattern. Task number 2, identify the rectangular base pattern. So, let's annotate in the chart. So, identify the reversal pattern. So, for me, ang pinaka-reversal pattern na nakikita ko is a wedge. Pwedeng wedge. Pwede ring cup and handle. Pwede ring inverted. Hindi siya, hindi naman siya kailangan maging super strict, no? But the idea is where we have this accumulation pattern. So, nakapag-establish siya ng support levels, di ba? Nakapag-establish siya ng support levels. And then, nakapag-breakout siya sa isang neckline, no? Which is this RTL or pwede rin sa structure resistance na yan. So, that's the key reversal pattern. Task number 2, identify the rectangular base pattern or the box base pattern. So, ito yung box base pattern natin. After the reversal, created its first base at around $60. $70 area. So it's a $10 price difference. So if you're gonna trade this, buy on breakout ka, stops mo is slightly below this level, 63, 64. Then targets mo a $10 difference from $70, $80 yung pinaka-target mo. No? If you're gonna calculate your targets. So yun yung ano natin. It's a wedge, mukha din siyang cup and handle, no? But ito yun, yung task number 2 natin, yung pinaka-importante, which is the rectangular base. So another example is Churchill down. So task number 1, annotate at least 2 entry points. At least 2 entry points. So if I'm gonna trade this coming from this rectangular base, nag-breakout na siya. So it's now retesting. So pwedeng mag-set ka ng limit buy order at 130 or set ka ng buy stop order at 143. 143, 144 area. Basically, dito sa swing high na yan. Swing high. Annotate your cut area. So, kunyari, mag-rally na yan, mag-breakout na siya dyan, stops ko is slightly below this area. Set your target price. So, from this base, so from 130 to $90, so ano yung price difference nun? $40. So, 130 plus $40 is 170. So, papatak na dito yung target price natin at around 170 or pwede na rin 180. So, if you're gonna trade this with a tight stop, most likely it's gonna give you a 2 to 1, 3 to 1 reward risk. So, ito yun. So, a downtrend line breakout, an RTL breakout, pwedeng yan yung entry point mo. Considerably, itong channel retest structure natin. So, a breakout of this channel retest structure. So, ganon. Set your stops at this level, no? Then, target prices at measured target. So, if you're gonna use your Fibonacci retracement tool, papatak na 194 yung target price. So, that's Churchill downs. Next is Smart Trend. So, let's say I want to buy this trend line breakout in anticipation of an inverse head and shoulder reversal. Where should I place my stop? So, kunwari, ito nga, no? Meron tayong nakikitang head and shoulder pattern or inverse head and shoulder pattern coming from this prior downtrend. Nag-create siya ng left shoulder. We have this head. Broke below this support line. Recovered above it. Retested again this support line. And meron tayong nakikitang wedge dito. Wedge or something like a channel. So, breakout muna. Buy on breakout muna tayo dito on this RTL breakout. Stops natin most likely is at this level at around $2.3 area or pwede rin at 2.20 this swing low area. So that's our answer in this example or in this on session drill. Next, NVIDIA. What is the emerging pattern? So clear as day, inverse head and shoulder. Actually, pwede rin cup and handle kung ano man gusto mong itawag dyan. But the idea is coming from this downtrend, meron tayong na-establish na left shoulder, meron tayong head. No? Ito yung swing low natin. So, broke below the swing low, recovered above this swing low area. Then, right now, tinest niya ulit yung support area na yun. Right now, if I want to trade this, pwedeng buy on support from this neckline. That's my entry point. Or, re-break of the $200 area. So, right now, nasa $20 na lang yun. Since the 10 for 1 stock split. Okay, so stops is at this level. Targets is most likely the pattern size of this inverse head and shoulder. So 200 to 100 108, kung na natin 110. So $90 difference. So 290 yung primary target natin if it breaks above again dito sa $200 area. So $300 in confluence with this swing high area. So right now $30 na lang yan. So lastly, let's do a non-session drill on AGG or iShares Core Aggregate Bond ETF. So task number 1, create a trade plan for this technical setup. So if I want to buy this technical setup, I'm gonna buy a channel breakout at this level. So roughly around 97, 96, no? So stops slightly below 96. So meron tayong established swing low dito. So, pwede kong iset yung stops ko dyan. Pwede rin wider stop. So, it actually depends kung ano yung mag-ano sa'yo, kung ano yung trip mo. So, task number 2, based on the trade plan, input your order in your TradingView paper trading account or IBKR trading account. So, if I'm gonna trade this, no, hindi ko na masyadong papakita yung sa TradingView paper trading account or IBKR trading account. So, basically, put your entries at this level, a breakout of the channel. Actually, na-materialize na to, guys. Tong trade plan na to. Punta tayo sa AGG. Yun. Ayan, no? So, channel breakout. Channel breakout. Channel breakout. Medyo widen mo yung stops mo at 94, 94.50. So, breakout of the 50-day moving average din siya. What happened afterward? It moved higher, even reaching this target price. 1618 target price at the $100 area. So, whether stocks, whether crypto, whether bonds, pwede mo siyang gamitin. So, to end this video, no, how well you will trade patterns is all that matters. So, if you have proper thought process from price action up to analyzing the moving averages, no, in context ng chart. So, if you have proper risk management din, planning process, practice and execution, technical patterns alone, price action alone, moving average alone, can already serve as your bread and butter in your trading business. So, eto, no, imagine this. 3 modules, 4 na modules lang. I think you're already prepared to operate your trading business. So, that's our lesson right now. So, for deep work, this is actually not required. So, it actually depends on you if you want to do this, no? So, basically, create your own chart book for classical TE patterns. So, analyze past patterns na nag-materialize and did not materialize. So, basically, look for chart patterns, mga W patterns, double bottom patterns, head and shoulder pattern, yada yada. Then, create chart studies using a private trade idea. So, gawa ka ng trade idea, no, in TradingView. So, for example, dito, kunyari, ito na lang, no, kunyari, gold. Kunyari, gusto ko i-trade tong box conso pattern na yan. Box-based pattern. So, gawa ko ng long position tool. Lagyan ko ng long position tool. Set ako ng target. So, kunyari, set ako ng target at this level. Tapos, maglagay ka ng annotations. Kunyari, lagay ka ng notes. So, for example, 50-day and 100-day still inclining. Bulls in control. Potential all-time high breakout. So, kumbaga, gusto ko lang makita yung thought process nyo on this trade idea or yung chart pattern na nag-materialize or pwede rin hindi nag-materialize. So, ito, continuation pattern to, guys. Yan, continuation pattern yan. So, gawa ka ng private trade idea. So, publish mo siya. Gawa ka ng subject. So, USD box conso pattern. Then, lagay mo yung mga notes mo. Kunyari, ganyan. Then, continue. Lagay mo siya as private analysis. Then, publish private trade idea. So, right now, since meron ka ng private trade idea, ngayon, pwede mo na siyang ilagay sa isang Evernote. Pwede mo siyang ilagay sa isang notebook. No? So, copy link mo. Copy-paste mo sa Evernote mo. Then, nandyan na yung trade idea mo or yung chart analysis mo. So, create the write-up, create the analysis on each on each pattern with the following, no? Yung market phase niya, current market stage, yung price action behavior, saan yung entries and exits mo, and then yung point of success and failure on the chart pattern. Kung na-reach ba yung target, or na-hit ba yung break-even, na-hit ba yung stop-loss price, etc. etc. So, no deadline naman for this. Ang gusto ko lang is for you to study chart patterns in depth, no, on your own. So, dito natin malalaman if you're really motivated or self-motivated to do things. So, ayun, no? For the quiz, I'll be releasing it tomorrow or on Wednesday. no? Or 1 to 2 days after this video is being released. So, yung quiz natin is a composition or combination of moving averages and then classical technical patterns. So, ayun. I hope na may natutunan kayo. I help you to clear out your confusion on technical patterns and I help you how to set your expectations on technical patterns. So, I hope na meet naman natin lahat ng objective. If you have any questions, you can PM me, you can DM me in my page or in our Discord channel. So, see you on the next video. God bless and goodbye. Bye-bye.